Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we're looking at some more items from Australia, thanks to Justin Farnell, who also provided the Saga video pack from Australia that we saw in our last episode. It's a little weird this time, in that it's giving us something that doesn't really have US equivalents, and has UK equivalents that we've actually seen, but only for half of what we're looking at. So a little bit longer of an episode so we can look at all of them, but this is looking at individual volumes for certain seasons of the Clone Wars. You may recall that in the UK, back in November of 2009, you had the release of the complete Season 1 for the Clone Wars. But then, for inexplicable reasons, at least to my mind, nearly a year later in August of 2010, they released 4 individual volumes for the season. And they did so in 16:9 instead of the better theatrical widescreen that we see on the season set that had already been released at that time, and with a different menu structure and a lack of bonus features. It's really a weird release because it was bare bones and certainly substandard, and yet coming nearly a year after you could get a better collected release. But you had essentially, we looked at all these, a lot of subtitles for me to work on this episode. We had Season 1, Volume 1 that looked a lot like the packaging there for A Galaxy Divided in the US. Season 1, Volume 2. Season 1, Volume 3. And Season 1, Volume 4. Depending on which disc we were looking at, it was either 5 episodes or 6 episodes to make up the entire 22-episode season. And that, like I said, that was just kind of weird. Well, it turns out that these kind of weird releases out of the UK were apparently based on releases out of Australia. But in Australia, they made sense, at least for this season. Because in Australia, the 4 volumes were released in 2 bursts of 2 DVDs each. One burst, that is, of 2 DVDs, 2 volumes on June 30th of 2009, and the other 2 volumes on September 22nd, 2009, a couple months before the season set was released. Which kind of made at least some sense, even though they were still substandard products that met all the same specifications as what I just described for those UK ones. And we're going to take a look at those and continue on through 4 seasons of those releases. This is the Australian Season 1, Volume 1. 5 episodes from the hit animated series. Series name Season 1, Volume 1. Rating down there at the bottom so that you know that this is from Australia. By comparison, remember the UK ratings look different. Spine, Lucasfilm, The One, Star Wars The Clone Wars, product number DVD, Warner Brothers Home Entertainment, or sorry, Warner Brothers Home Video at the time, Home Entertainment now. Then the rating down there as well. The back, episodes 1 through 5 from the hit television series. About it, images, which episodes are in it, legalese, Warner Brothers Home Video logo, Lucasfilm logo, information about the runtime, the subtitles. This is English, Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish spoken languages. This is subtitles in Danish, Finnish, Norwegian, Swedish, and English for the hearing impaired. This is a DVD that is region 4, because it is Australia. You got your other images here, more about the rating and UPC, but notice here, it actually tells you, which I think is really cool, on the back, what you've got to look forward to as far as aspect ratio. It says widescreen 16:9, 1.85:1, full frame color. In other words, it is 16:9, but it's 16:9 where it takes up the entire 16:9 picture, not the narrower sort of letterbox style that we would see with the theatrical aspect ratio of the season sets here. Okay. As for the label, similar to what we've seen in other regions like the UK and at least one of the ones, a regular one in the US. Because remember, the US had a couple different labels because it was that Walmart exclusive. So we have Clone Wars Season 1, Volume 1. We have Grievous, Yoda, and Rex. We have the Warner logo, DVD, Region 4, Lucasfilm, and legalese running around the edge. Okay. For what it's worth, by the way, the UK did tell you the aspect ratio. It's in a little box down here where it says aspect ratio 16:9 full frame, right? Full frame meaning it's taking up the entire thing, like I said a moment ago. I would note also, by the way, that these are black DVD cases, not clear. So we have Volume 2, similar to the UK Volume 2. We're not going to go through the specifics of every single piece of every single package because they are designed similarly, but we will look at it from season to season, at least in that form. Again, a similar style to the logo, or to the label there. I keep saying logo. To the label there with the logos on it, to what we saw in the UK, but of course adapted for Australia. I guess I should say that is the Australian original adapted for the UK, right? Because the UK put these out, about a year later for some freaking reason. Australian Season 1, Volume 3. And its label with logos. I kind of train myself not to keep screwing that one up. And then Season 1, Volume 4. And inside. Then, of course, the UK, as we already saw, put out Season 2 the same way. Again, after the release of the season set, only this time they were essentially just the discs from the season set released separately. So it still had bonus features. It was a theatrical widescreen version. It was just that you could get them one disc at a time this time if you actually really wanted to do that. So they had Season 2, Volume 1 here. These, by the way, are noted as 16:9 letterbox, theatrical widescreen, as opposed to full frame that was the full 16:9. So these are the releases basically there from the season set, as I said. Season 2, Volume 2. Season 2, Volume 3. And Season 2, Volume 4. Only in the UK, these were staggered. The first one came out on December 6th of 2010. The second volume came on March 21st, 2011. The third volume on May 30th, 2011. And then the final volume on August 22nd, 2011. So they staggered them out quite a bit. And I apologize if you're hearing the kid yelling in the background. It's my one time to record. It's either record with him in the background sometimes or don't record at all. My apologies. Australia, for their part, decided to do the same kind of thing. Release after the season set was already out, so they could just use the season set discs in similar packaging to what we see in the UK. But they released all of them on the same day this time, almost like releasing a season set, almost like it's completely freaking redundant. On February 11th, or excuse me, February 1st of 2011. So this is their version of Season 2, Volume 1. Similar design again, 4 episodes from the hit animated series. Series name, Season 2, Volume 1. Rating down here. Spine, Lucasfilm 1, Star Wars The Clone Wars product number DVD, Warner Brothers Home Video, and then PG, there's still the rating. Information about it on the back. Episodes 1 through whatever, as before. Which episodes and so on. Now marked as, right here, widescreen 16:9, 2.40:1 full frame color. Still region 4, of course. And a disc label similar to what we've seen in the UK here, with a Clone Wars Season 2, Volume 1. The characters there, Lucasfilm, the Warner logo, the rating, region 4, DVD, and legalese running around the edge. Then you got their Season 2, Volume 2, of a similar design to what we just saw for Volume 1, but also to the UK version. Again, the UK ones are being staggered out. It's Volume 3, whereas these came on one day. So you basically got the first one from the UK, and then all the ones from Australia, then the other ones from the UK for this season, and then Volume 4. Again, with the benefit of Season 2 being that it was the same discs with new labels as the season set, so you did get the theatrical widescreen and so on and so on. The bonus features. The downside being that to get the individual ones, you had to wait till the season was over, and we already had a season set, making these somewhat weird to pick up at all. Whereas at least in Australia with Season 1, you at least could get them before the season set came around. In the UK, it was always kind of dumb. But whereas the UK kind of realized this doesn't make a whole lot of sense and just stopped after Season 2, Australia kept going for 2 more seasons. Not the entirety of the shows run on Cartoon Network, at least from the American perspective, but double the amount of individual volumes for seasons that the UK got. But still, the US didn't get anything like it. Again, it was 4 volumes, as in the case of the next season as well. All the ones we're going to see from here on are 4 volumes per season that are basically just the exact same discs out of the season set, given new labels, slapped into new individualized packaging. But the packaging design has been updated to be more like artwork that, for instance, we saw on the little postcard art cards in that fancy schmancy Season 1 Blu-ray set coming out of Japan, and as we'll see in some cases with other regions' covers. I actually like these covers better than the design where it's like, here, let's cram some people over here in the foreground, these guys in the background, and go from there with the disc, with the package artwork. I always thought that was okay, but not very dynamic. I much prefer the look of Season 3 and 4 from Australia. So let's start with those. We start with one of the coolest looking covers. This one here. This is Season 3, Volume 1. 6 episodes from the hit animated series, Clone Wars Season 3, Volume 1. Notice it's got, I guess it's Colt over here, but then rather than having a bunch of characters with him, he's closer up. And then in the background, rather than having a bunch of characters, it's instead shots from some of the episodes, 3 of the episodes from the season, with the rating down there at the bottom. Okay, definitely like this look better. Spine there, similar. Lucasfilm 1, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Season 3, product number, DVD, Warner Brothers Home Video, and PG. I would note here that the Season 3 is new. The other ones didn't tell you which season. It just said 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. If you got them mixed up, you had to look at the fronts to figure out which ones went where on your shelves. Okay, this actually says Season 3. The back of a similar design, episodes 1 through 6 from Season 3 of the hit television series. Information about it, the images, which episodes are in it, your legalese, Lucasfilm, Warner Brothers. It is the discs from the season set, so 16 by 9, 2.4 by 1. Same old information that we'd expect over here. In this case, it's a Castellan Spanish, English and German for the hearing impaired, English, Castellan Spanish, and German audio. But again, which you would see on their season set. Okay. And then they did also update the look of the labels, although, they're not anything special, but at the same time, they also aren't kind of as weird looking as the whole, let's put some characters on one side, some on the other, kind of look to the other disc labels. So we have Clone Wars, season number, disc number, or volume number, Lucasfilm, Warner Brothers, DVD, Region 4, rating, a little bit of legalese, but it's just the character from the cover brought over here without anything else with them onto the label. Personally, I think it's a cleaner, classier look. Then we have Season 3, Volume 2, with a similar design, this time featuring Jabba. Season 3, Volume 3, featuring Savage Opress. And then Season 3, Volume 4, featuring Chewbacca. What a Wookiee! Bum, bum, bum. Sorry, cannot just say Chewbacca by itself most of the time. I've been trained too well by clerks. Now, those were all released on April 3rd of 2012. Finally, on April 2nd, 2013, the same approach was taken after the season set was already out for Season 4. Similar looks here. Again, 6 episodes from the hit animated series, Clone Wars Season 4, Volume number. Character, in this case, 2. It's interesting, they have one character on all of them, right? Except this one, that's C-3PO and R2-D2. That mirrors what they did in some of the Hasbro packs where they had supposedly 3 action figures per film, but often treated C-3PO and R2-D2 as if they were one figure crammed in for a particular film, so it was actually 4 figures instead of 3, counting as 3 because they counted as 1. They're attached at the hip, I suppose, or the bolt. So, we have images from episodes, rating, spine, similar to Season 3, Lucasfilm 1, Star Wars The Clone Wars, with Season 4 stated, product number, DVD, Warner logo, and then rating. And then a similar style to the back. episodes 1 through 6 of season 4 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Okay? Information, images, episodes, legalese, stats, region, all that good stuff. Interesting, though, that all the previous seasons said episodes whatever through whatever from season whatever of the hit television series, and this says episodes whatever through whatever from season 4 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. They don't call it the hit television series or hit animated series or anything like that anymore. It just says The Clone Wars, although the front still says hit animated series. And then a similar design to the labels. Show title, season, volume, legalese on the edge, Lucasfilm, Warner, DVD, Region 4, rating, along, of course, with whatever characters happen to be from the cover. Season 4, Volume 2, in similar fashion, with Rex here. Season 4, Volume 3, in similar fashion, with Cad Bane. And you can probably guess who's going to be on the cover of Season 4, Volume 4 because of how much hype the character received at the time, and the brilliant performance by Sam Witwer. Darth Maul. Or, I guess, Maul at this point because he's no longer considered a Sith Lord alongside Sidious at this point. So, holy moly. In Australia, you had... 16 individual volumes that together made up the first 4 seasons of the Clone Wars. 3 of which were discs from the season sets, given new labels, released after the seasons had been released as season sets. But 4 of which were uniquely designed with their own menus and the aired versions of the episodes for season 1 released before season 1's season set, which had been used as a baseline for a later set of those in the UK that made less sense because they were released after the season set was already out. I would note, by the way, that what this means for the UK and for Australia, I already mentioned it for the UK back in that episode, but what this meant for the UK and Australia was that for season 1, on physical media, you could get every single one of the director's cut episodes from the season 1 season set as their regular aired versions. In the United States, we got all but Lair of Grievous because when we got them, they weren't on individual discs for a whole season. It was Clone Commandos in a Galaxy Divided, which didn't happen to include Lair of Grievous. So in the PAL regions, in this case, Region 2 and Region 4, you could actually get all of them, including Lair of Grievous, in their non-director's cut form, whereas in the US, if you wanted that, you were stuck with a digital file, at least for Lair of Grievous. So, as weird as it was in the UK, and as kind of weird it was to some degree in the later seasons in Australia, there is some benefit here, and you gotta admit, that later cover art is pretty sweet. My thanks to Justin. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers, whether here in the UK, Australia, or really anywhere else.